Ever dreamed of owning your own drive-through business? A drive-through business can be a lucrative venture. Let's dive into the key strategies that make it a success. So in this video, we'll be talking about making a profitable business and then scaling that business. Let's get into it. So whether you're thinking about opening up your own small coffee shop, small bakery, small soda shop like me, these tips will help you get started in just that. A couple things just to start off that I would recommend you do is you need to niche down, which means you need to really be specific on your market. Obviously there's cases that you don't want to be too specific, but in your case where you're just getting started, I would highly recommend really getting specific on who your customer is. Also, make sure that you do your market research for the area that you're going into. Now with a super small town, this may not be extremely valuable to you, but make sure you explain to your customer base why you are unique compared to other businesses around you. So let me give you an example. We have a Sonic, obviously everywhere. We're in Central Texas. There's Sonics everywhere around here. We have one just down the street. I had to make it known to my customer base that what makes me different is my speed and the quality of my drinks. So at Sonic, there's obviously gonna be, you have to make some cheeseburgers, you gotta make grilled cheeses, you gotta make chicken sandwiches, you gotta make shakes. There's so many things on their menu that they have to make that usually the quality of their items go down because of it. In my case, I'm just focusing on drinks. I'm not making any other big food items. I'm not making all these other ice cream shakes, things like that. I'm just focusing on the drinks. So if you're coming to get a drink, chances are it's gonna be super good quality because that's all we focus on. And we're gonna be able to get you out of here fast because it's such an easy product and we are only built for that. So our processes and everything else around that are gonna be quick and in rhythm. So make sure you're explaining to your customers why you are unique compared to others. Location, location, location. I know you guys have all heard that before, but let's talk about your location for your drive-through business. So you want to make sure you have some high visibility and easy access. If you want to have a good walk-up window, you need to have good parking. There's so many businesses that have terrible parking. Now, we're obviously talking about drive-through businesses, so there shouldn't be a need for parking. But just in case you're like me and you have a walk-up window, you'll want to think about your parking. Now, granted, we are not on our main road that goes through Hewitt, Texas. That's very busy, but we're just a building off. We're just one building down from the main road. You can still see us from the main road and it's easily accessible to get to us because we have a stoplight. So I don't know if you guys have any of those super busy roads near you, but a lot of times during rush hour, you can't make a left turn on some of these roads. This one included, Hewitt Drive. But we have a stoplight that gets to us on that main road. And so it's super easy to get in here, super easy to get out of here. You can always make a left turn, always make a right turn, super easy. So keep that in mind. You may want to be in a busy street, that's great. But if there's an option for maybe the street to the side that has a stoplight, stop sign, something like a four-way stop maybe, you still want to make it easily accessible and easy for your customers to exit your business. And then of course you're going to want to keep a couple other things in mind, your zoning, right? So you may go into a building that's already built, already had businesses in it before. You probably don't really need to worry about the zoning. In my case, I'm leasing a piece of land and I built this small building on the piece of land. I had to make sure that the zoning was right and ready to go. And you can usually just check in with your local city or your local county and take care of that to make sure it is there. Now, if you don't already have the zoning, you should be able to apply for it. They'll help you through that process. Sometimes it can be a little pricey, sometimes it can be a little time consuming. So just make sure you're thinking ahead on that. So whether you're doing a coffee shop, a bakery, or a soda business like me, you want to make sure that you are streamlining your processes, whatever that is. You'll want to streamline it, so you'll want to make sure it's easy. So let me give you a little tour of what we're doing to streamline our process. So on one side of the building, we have our order window. So they're gonna drive up with their car, order here, place their order at my POS, and then the POS prints off a sticker that we then stick on the cup, and then we walk to the other side of the building. So we're first gonna have our ice machine. So we already have our cup, remember from our POS, we already have our cup with what the name of the drink on the cup. Then we fill it up with ice. Then we move to the soda machine, fill up with soda. Then we're gonna add our syrups or our purees or fresh fruit from the fridge. This whole area is to finish off the drinks. And then the drink is out this window. The car has made a loop around the building after placing the order. We're giving it to them through this window. We have our lids, straws right here. So we're trying to make it so that you place the order, you grab the cup, fill up the cup, do everything you need to do, and then on this side it's all done. So there's not too much bouncing around. Sometimes we do some bouncing around if we're just relaxing, having a good time. We still get the product out the window fast, but and during a busy time of the day, we're very streamlined. We're very from one side of the building to the other side of the building. I would recommend that you do the same as you make your layout for your business. Now, your inventory management. This is where it gets a little complex depending on the business you're trying to go for. With mine just being a soda business, mine's pretty basic. I bet yours can be really basic too. You may overthink it a little bit. It should be pretty easy. I just have a whiteboard over my POS, and I'm constantly keeping track of, hey, when I'm getting low on some product, I go over the whiteboard and say getting low or empty, buy next on my order list, whatever. So as far as you don't want to run out of stuff, I will recommend to you that selling out of product is super negative to the customers. Now, you still may have your loyal customers who will come back, give you more chances, or will love your product, so they just understand you sell out sometimes. But for the first timer that come and shop with you, you'll want to make sure you're not sold out, because that first time, their first impression really matters. So don't sell out of your product. Make sure you're keeping track of what's low in stock, what's running out, what is out. Keep track of that. Big deal. Now, I would recommend using an Excel sheet. We use Google spreadsheets to keep track of inventory. What I'll do is I'll open up my Google sheet and I'll just go step by step. I'm not necessarily punching numbers in, but I'll at least get eyes on every product. So if I read vanilla syrup, I'll get my eyes on vanilla syrup. Something that usually costs me a lot more than it should is when you run out of something and then you run into a panic mode of having to hurry and buy something or ordering something and then paying for extra shipping. So it just really pays off to make sure you're managing your inventory well, whether it's with hiring someone to do it for you or through an Excel spreadsheet, something like that. Keep track of your inventory. So as I've mentioned in some of my other videos, customer experience is really a big deal. And as I mentioned in the SpongeBob episodes, the customer is always right. And I believe that's true. Now, you're gonna get some of those customers that are not that fun to deal with. And to be honest, you'll probably never make them happy, no matter what you do. So just get them on their way, do whatever you need to do to get them on their way, it'll be worth it. But one thing that I've learned and heard from customers in the past is you could have two businesses right next to each other serving pretty much the same product, but customers will go to the place where they feel that it's the best environment, where they feel the most respected, appreciated. A lot of people choose that with their coffee shops. Let's be honest, a lot of coffees are gonna be about the same, but people go to their favorite coffee shop because maybe they know the owner, maybe they have, one of the employees is maybe one of their children or grandchildren or cousins. Usually those other experiences are far more important than the actual product. Still make a good product, but don't always just rely on the product and have terrible customer service. You need to have both, and the customer service is super important. Now let's talk about a loyalty program. You do have a couple of options for loyalty programs. Some of these POSs that you go through, once you sign on with them, contract with them, however it works with them, some of them will offer via email, via phone numbers, if you pay a little more a month. So like for instance, Square POS that we use, we have the option to pay monthly. It's like 20 bucks a month to use a loyalty program through them, where all the customer has to do is type in their phone number to keep track of points. I haven't really liked it yet with what we're doing. I could see the potential when maybe I have another location to keep track of everything. But you do have options to do it digitally. But in our case right now, we're actually using punch cards, mainly because we're trying to get our name out there. So we're doing punch cards where if you buy 10 drinks, you get one free. This doesn't count for snacks. This doesn't count for floats, things like that. But every 10 drinks you buy, you get one free. And on the back of these cards, we have our QR code so that people can go to our Instagram just by scanning the QR code. So I would recommend you at least do some type of loyalty program. You can obviously go all out and do some big loyalty program, but if you're like me, I would suggest doing a small one, working your way up to your customer base, and then maybe look at implementing a cool, fancy digital loyalty program. Another big part, not only making a profitable business, but scaling your business and keeping that growing from here on out, is gonna be your social media and your marketing. So I don't do a whole lot with my social media marketing since I'm right across the street from one of the biggest schools here in the area. It's a 5 or 6A school, and it's the middle school and a high school. And so my marketing could be better, and I am doing more to improve that. But I do want to recommend that you use Instagram well beyond what you think you should. So we use Instagram and we boost our posts just for a couple of dollars a day. And it's usually gaining a couple more customers We still 2 months in have customers coming in that have never been before, and they're saying, hey, I saw your Instagram post, thought I'd come check you out, and now they've ended up being regular customers to this day. So Instagram is so powerful. TikTok is pretty powerful too. There's obviously a lot of TikTok around here. It's, as you know, very popular, so I would recommend TikTok as well. But I would say majority of my local people, because I'm going for the locals. I don't need tourists who are coming into Waco. I don't need other people who are never really here. I want the locals. And so using Instagram to get the local market has really been beneficial. And if you haven't used the boost part of Instagram, I would recommend that you dig into that a little bit. Like I said, you can do it within a couple dollars a day for 1 day, or you can do it for 20 days. It can be really a cost-effective way to go about it. And then of course there's other ways to go too. You can also go through schools, you get local colleges or universities or small businesses that are maybe trying to market for other companies and get their name out there as well. So there's a lot of cost-effective ways to go about your marketing, but it's super important that you start that now so that you can start building that trust and start building that customer base right now, so that in months or years to come, you've got that base there for you.